Okay, this video, I'm gonna get a little personal, more personal than I normally get. Today is my dad's 66th birthday. He is the reason why I'm starting the blog and why I'm starting this YouTube channel. He's celebrating his birthday in heaven. He lost hope and he lost life balance, and therefore he took his own life. He took his own life. Yes, he committed suicide. I'm not going to go into details, but by the end of this video, I hope you realize the importance of staying balanced within the 8 dimensions of wellness, as to show you just how important wellness actually is. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you like the video. We go over all 8 dimensions of wellness within my channel, and this approach I realized at my dad's funeral, which was it's going on 6 years. This was the first time I realized that there's more in life than just one thing. You can learn the importance of keeping balance, importance of not forming idols, and the importance of not focusing on certain dimensions in your life and your well-being. You need to focus on all of them. I have been a health and fitness coach for over 14 years. I've helped my clients reach all sorts of goals. Because of my dad, this is the reason why I'm kind of gearing more towards wellness instead of just fitness. My degree was actually in health promotion, so we went over all aspects of wellness. I just kind of went into the field of fitness after college. I'm not going to go into details, but I'll never forget the day that I found out. You guys can actually go to my blog to read more about it. I'm going to kind of be focusing more on why it happened, I guess. So the minister told the congregation that it was a suicide. And I remember the gasp behind me because we were sitting in the front. People were in shock, as our family was, but we all knew prior to the actual funeral service. The gasp that I heard, they had no idea. I mean, my dad was strong, he was independent, he was a successful businessman. So why would this happen? My dad was my mentor for business. He helped me start my first company. He was my coach for basically my life. And he was my dad. So I knew him in different aspects of my life. I was so confused of why it happened and how it could happen. I was remember all the feelings I felt. I was thinking, oh, someone murdered him and it was a setup, or all different feelings were running through my head, like someone set him up or someone forced him to do it. And then it came to the conclusion that no, he did it. So during the funeral service, the minister actually did a very good job at answering the questions for me. I was very lost and confused. When you have a loved one that commits suicide, you feel anger and sadness, and you feel hopeless. You feel any feeling you can imagine, you feel it. It's like a grieving phase times a million of you don't understand how someone could do that, and then the hurt that it does to everyone else. Sorry. So the minister talked about how suicide is selfish, and but then he went into what actually causes suicide. So he talked about so if a man or a woman is drowning physically, and they knew that they were going to die, but imagine if a person was drowning mentally and they felt this pain and no one could imagine, then that can actually cause someone to take their own life. So that is kind of how he explained it a little bit. Of course, it's still hard to understand. But he said, basically, he read a bunch of stuff from my dad, and he talked about then idols. And he talked about if you have idols, if you have idols, and you lose an idol, and an idol can be anything. It can be a person or money or your job or anything. And if you actually lose that, like let's say someone betrays you, or you lose your job, or you lose all your money and you go bankrupt, or then you actually are at risk for being hopeless, which can cause suicide. So that is basically why I'm here, is to talk about wellness and why it's so important to keep your life balanced in all aspects. So my question is to you, is there an idol in your life? If so, which dimension? So the dimensions of wellness are the intellectual, mental and emotional, social, physical, occupational, environmental, spiritual, or financial. Now, looking at your wheel of life, you need to get it balanced. You need to do the wheel of life and actually see where you are lacking on certain areas and start actually focusing on those areas. So if, let's say, your occupation is 10 and your social is 1, well, how would you feel if you lost your job? I mean, that's just the question to you. So I challenge you to get the wheel of life and actually figure out where you need to focus some attention to. You can actually get the free wheel of life on my website. All you have to do is subscribe and you get the free guide. It's Empower My Life. It's Be Your Own Life Coach. So as you see, this topic touches very deep with me, and I never realized how important a balanced life was of the 8 dimensions until literally it was smacked right in front of my face. Everyone tells me that I am just like my dad, or I was. I'm strong like my dad, and yes, I am my father's daughter, but I still am me, and I learned to let my shield down. I learned to ask for help, and I am learning that it is okay to show weakness. Your weakness is a part of you, and that's why the wheel of life will actually help you focus on where you need to improve on certain aspects of your life. So I encourage you to go ahead and fill out the wheel of life. I'm going to show you my wheel of life. As of right now, I have intellectual, mental, and emotional health and financial all at 9s. So I'd say those are pretty good. My physical is a 10 just because that comes very natural to me. It seems to just be one of my priorities, but it's important to me, but it's not like last night my daughter was up all night, so I planned on working out today, but that didn't happen. So, which that's part of life. So, then my environmental and my spiritual is down to a 7. Which my environmental is mostly because I feel like we're outgrowing our house, so it gives me a little bit of stress. But we're working on that, so you can only do so much at once. Spiritual is probably a 7 because I really want to go to church. It just makes it kind of hard with our daughter who doesn't sleep very well, and she hasn't been away from anybody other than family. So to actually take her to church and have her in the kids area will be a little bit of an adjustment period for her, and I just don't feel she's ready for that yet. So I'm kind of feel like I'm slacking on that a little bit, but we have a lot of books that we read to the kids, which really helps. So then I'm gonna go to occupational, which right now I'd say that's about a 7. I'm happy with my career. I wish I was a little bit further along, I guess, but it's not really that. It's that I had to take a step back with our kids and stuff because my husband works full time and I own a bunch of businesses, and we have to do kind of what's right for our family. And my son and my daughter are at home, so my son goes to school a little bit, but it's still a little bit of a juggling match. Then the most I need to work on is social. So my social dimension is, I kind of broke it down into 2 just to help me, because my family I feel like is actually very strong and we get along and our goals are the same and we have our priorities and we get along very well. So I actually have that as a 9, but then I have my actual like friends and that area down to a 4. So that's pretty bad. So I've been trying to like go out and see friends and stuff. It's just kind of hard because none of my friends live in Cincinnati where I live. So it's either we're just going to play dates and stuff, which is fine, but I need to do more of that. We don't do as much as I would like. So that is my wheel of life. So if you really want to, it's a good way because you can like look at it and you feel like you're looking down on it, so you really see the areas that you need to focus on. So it's a really simple thing, and I recommend like printing it out. The one that if you subscribe to my website, which the link will be in my description, I would print it out and you can actually fill it out from there. So I just want to elaborate one more time. So an idol. So if your idol dies or you lose it, you could feel crushed, you could feel loss of hope, you could lose, if you lose hope, it's like a domino effect that could happen. And yes, suicide is obviously an extreme severity of the situation that I'm describing, but it can happen in a blink of an eye. No one thought this would ever happen with my dad, so I just want you to be aware and fill out that wheel of life so you really know where you need to focus on. From a person who lost a loved one from suicide, no matter whatever you feel, whatever you did, it does not matter. Talk to someone. Don't do what my dad did. The pain will never go away for your loved ones. They will have the worst feelings, and it is not worth it. the suffering that you feel will get better. Reach out to someone. I will put some links in my description to help. And if you need to, please go to my website and subscribe and get that free tool, that free guide. It's completely free. All you have to do is subscribe and I will email it to you. And send people, I send someone a comment, send me an email if you need to talk to someone, because it is not worth it. Believe me, I am not a therapist. I am just a normal person, just like you. But when you have a loved one who does this, it is very painful and it never goes away. And every time you think that last time you saw them, it's a really hard time for me right now, because my birthday was in January, which was a couple weeks ago, and then it's my dad's birthday today, and then we celebrated my dad's birthday and my birthday on Valentine's Day, and then in March my dad committed suicide. So the last time I saw my dad was on Valentine's Day, and we were having a great dinner celebrating my birthday and his birthday, and I had no idea that he was in as much pain as he was mentally. So if you want to learn more about wellness, check out my other videos and subscribe to my website. So hit the thumbs up to like my video. I know it's kind of a hard video to like, but I just hope to help someone.